If it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Jersey Joe on the radio, 728. This is AM 970. The Answer around the world and around these fine United States of America on AM 970, theanswer.com with 5 boroughs to my right and Al Gattulo across from me. Debbie's on the roads for you this morning. We so appreciate you and love you for listening. Love you for checking out YouTube and Facebook this morning. Manny Alicandro. That's an Italian name. Anything Italian, you are welcome on the show. I'm just saying. He is the Republican candidate for Attorney General who announced his candidacy against Eric Schneiderman yesterday. Manny, first of all, thanks for coming in live, brother. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Brooklyn Italian American?
Yes, sir.
We have already, you got our vote. I'm just saying. What am I going to tell you? You know, hey, so how did you, the timing of this, 5 boroughs was just saying this, the timing of this. I mean, you announced yesterday and you go, I'm going to go for Attorney General. You're a young lawyer from Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
And what made you go want to be Attorney General for the great state of New York?
So I'm very fed up with all the fraud, waste, and abuse in Albany, and I really want to run a reform candidacy in terms of cleaning up the corruption in Albany. That's really my mandate. I've been planning on doing the announcement for a couple of weeks, and we finally decided, okay, we're going to do the announcement on Monday. We're going to do the announcement at Federal Hall at 10:30.
Yeah.
We're going to do the announcement in Albany at 3:30, and then I got booked on a show on New York One Spectrum at like 5 o'clock. All of a sudden, I go to a dinner after the show. My phone starts lighting up. People are pointing to their phones at the dinner. I couldn't even sit at the dinner the whole dinner. It was unbelievable.
Funny, I had a day like that yesterday, but it was not as it wasn't as formidable as subject matter as you. So you announced your candidacy 24 hours ago. The steps of Federal Hall, which is a block away.
Yes.
How great is that? By the way,
it was fantastic.
You know, I wanted to walk down there this morning. Sometimes I video that, and I video it every 3-4 months. I try to do it. George Washington took the oath of office right there, man.
Absolutely. It's very inspirational to me.
With the stock exchanges right there.
Yes.
And all the tourists. But it's great. What made you pick Federal Hall? Just out of curiosity.
I've worked in a neighborhood for many years,
Yeah.
and I've always been inspired by Federal Hall.
Yeah.
And my grandfather actually worked in a factory. He worked in a Colgate factory
No.
in Jersey City. He used to sell
the
powder
Colgate.
to Turner.
You can see the
to make
sign.
toothpaste, right. So I said, how great would this be if the grandson of an immigrant, a factory worker, made a nomination for Attorney General in front of the statue of George Washington? How inspirational is that? Is that not an American success story? Just that announcement itself.
People don't know that George Washington took the oath of office for the as president, as the first president of the United States, right there at Federal Hall. So personal allegations aside, why was Schneiderman such a bad Attorney General?
Great question. He really wasn't doing anything to stop the corruption. We call him invisible cellophane man. You would appreciate cellophane man, right?
Yeah.
He totally wasn't around. Where was he on the Percoco corruption trial, Buffalo Billions, MTA, NYCHA, and so on and so forth? So really, we're just focusing on the fact that we really need to clean up the culture of corruption, pay-to-play politics in Albany, and that was really the mandate.
Yeah.
He was at war, or is at war, with the Trump administration. He has over 100 lawsuits against the federal government and Trump. I don't feel like he's working
There's 100 now?
Over 100.
Wow.
I don't feel like he's working with the federal government.
Yeah.
I feel that we're vulnerable, particularly in the city, to terrorism. I don't know where we stand. God forbid there's another suicide bomber or something going on.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like the Charities Bureau needs to be cleaned up. A lot of fraud and corruption, these bogus charities. So I felt like he wasn't.
It's a good point because and thank you for even thinking about that, because we get shortchanged in Washington for the dollars that come back, go to New York, that come back, and thank God for Congressman Peter King, thank God for Congressman Dan Donovan. They fight for the security and the safety of the citizens up here with federal money because they don't want to send it up this way, you know. And why this guy Schneiderman had a thing for the president? That's what I said. It's a derangement syndrome.
Absolutely.
Rather than saying, all right, let's accentuate the positive, he was just going after frivolous lawsuits.
And I think the article that came out yesterday kind of chronicles that when Hillary lost, it kind of sent him in a spiral. Right. And it was almost a personal vendetta against Trump, which was clear, And that's at the taxpayer expense. So I was concerned, you file these lawsuits with regard to Trump. What is that doing to protect the New Yorkers? The Attorney General is the people's lawyer, chief legal officer of the state of New York.
How much per lawsuit do you think? Millions of dollars. How many? This is what these guys, with the Mueller probe. Tens of millions
of dollars, and I'll just keep going on and on and on at taxpayers' expense.
Yeah. So what's your first order of business as you go out and you start campaigning as Attorney General?
The first order of business is to really get support. I really need to garner support lock down a nomination. So in addition to the Republican Party, I'm seeking a conservative and a Reform Party nominations.
Well, you got the guy right next to you looking for that. 5 barrels.
He's a guy. He's a great guy.
He's the guy. I know.
He's the guy. So
He won't say that if we don't endorse him. I'm a great guy now. If we endorse him,
Did you have a little envelope? No, we're joking. Joking. God forbid there's enough corruption in New York and New Jersey. We don't need that. And we appreciate that you trying to clean it up, for crying out loud. So, but you're going to have other Republican guys going against you in the primary, you think?
I'm not sure. I hope not. But, something like this.
Let me tell you, man, you're in the game now. You got to go. No one better show up like that. Come on.
No one better show up. I mean, I'm a fighter. I'm a scrappy guy.
Yes, you are,
take it to the boxing gym, and we'll resolve it that way.
What high school did you go to in
I
Brooklyn?
went to high school actually in Manhattan on Upper East Side, Regis High School. So
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to the Jesuits.
Sure. And where'd you go to college?
NYU.
God, you're a smart guy. Another smart guy, man. Listen,
right.
We like the Italian Americans. We wish you all the best. And where can they go? Where can folks go to learn about your candidacy?
Thank you. So I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and my website is mannyalicandro.com.
All right. Hey, this is amazing that this happened and that you're here now after Schneiderman. And he stepped away. I thought he was going to hang in. Didn't you? I thought he'd hang in and fight.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night in terms of what the next steps were. So it was pretty swift in terms of his resignation.
Boom.
The question I have for you, Joe, is who else knew? Right. So I'm going to step outside and there's a bunch of reporters and I want to raise the question. Look, this is the culture of corruption I'm talking about. There's enablers out there. So if you really want to root this stuff out, like we look at what happened with Spitzer. Spitzer got away with what he did. Who else knew? You tell me people didn't know around. Of course they knew. So I'm alleging and I'm saying we should look into it. I don't know anything, but I'm saying we need to get to the facts. Who around Simon knew what was going on? I'm sure people probably knew.
It's with the Democrats, man. And Spitzer, too, man. That was so weird. That was so weird what he went through. And we still don't have the answers. And people are still coming out.
Absolutely disgusting.
And the way Spitzer went after Dick Grasso. Dick Grasso, who saved Wall Street during 9/11, when we were down here a block away, and they couldn't even start up the stock exchange. And Grasso and Joe Grano and Rudy Giuliani and Ken Langone, all the Italians saved Wall Street, and Spitzer goes after him. And then if I may, because you're a very smart young guy, and we like you, we appreciate you. Go to what you're going to do. You say, look, I don't want to get into it. I don't know how they got here. This corruption, you're absolutely right about it. It happened with Spitzer. It's endemic within the Democratic Party. Here's the way I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
Right. Onward and forward, the positive, the high road.
Exactly.
Manny, God bless.
Thanks
Godspeed.
so much. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Manny Alicandro, thank you for coming in, Manny, live. Piscopo in the morning, Frankie.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.